fam. Just give me 1 second. You sleepy too? Hold up, y'all. How's everybody? It's gonna be real quick. Okay, thank you. Y'all do an update on what the GoFundMe look like right now. Thank you for everybody who's been supporting. We still got a long way to go. It's moving slow, but it's moving. I really do appreciate y'all. Thank you to everybody who's supporting the site still. Who's getting water programs and Zen for Pain. Speaking of, this is kind of what this live is about. Now, for those of you who participated in the Wanaka ceremony, I have a video coming out. It should come out tomorrow with this. The reason that we did the whole Wanaka thing it was because there was an instruction. The Guardians had instructed us to. And again, that video coming tomorrow. We'll talk more about it. It was a year ago. It was over a year ago now. It was in January last year that they came to me and told me about the Wanaka. Now the other day, I was in my space, coming out of my rest, and they told me, the Guardian spoke to me and said, look at the bees. And then they went on to say, this is why we gave you Wanaka. Or asked you to do Wanaka. Now, well, I'll get more into it in the video that's coming out. But this is why they asked us to do Wanaka. They didn't say us, though, they said you. This is why the whole thing. So I got up and I looked into the bees. I'm like, what do they mean, the bees? In the last 8 months, 80% of the bees in the country are dead. They don't know why. This came from my dream. I looked it up and it was real. From a contact. Let me say that, because it wasn't a dream. 80% of the bees, and they keep bees commercially in this country. We talking like millions and millions and millions of bees, like from different keepers, commercial keepers. Just look it up, put it in TikTok, put it in YouTube. From these commercial keepers that they they went to the bees and they're all dead. And they have no idea why. So they saying. I mean, I have an idea why. I feel like the toxins that's in our air, that's constantly being sprayed over us like weird bugs, probably have something in it that's targeting the bees, because without the bees, like, y'all, we gotta see the bigger picture of this. Without the bees, there goes the food. And that's not the world. This is this country. Without bees, it will change a lot. It will change our entire ecosystem. It will change the way the aesthetics of the whole place, the way this place look. What plants will survive without being pollinated. This is why this is another reason why we should be growing our own food. Is even that you could plant certain plants that will grow bees and bring bees to your area. Like, I have bees live in my yard, but that's because of the mesquite tree. Like, the whole tree will be covered with bees. When I don't know where they live at, but they live near. And they starting to come now. And I'm not even seeing as many as normal. The whole tree will be covered. But if you plant certain things in your yard or leave certain, don't cut all the grass, it gives bees actually be in the ground, in the grass and stuff. And it gives them somewhere to go, somewhere to mate and breed. Another thing I learned from growing food is that you can actually pollinate your own food. Because I just kept saying, the hell was that? I kept saying, like, should not be able to do that, and not just, what is she eating? The liquid, what she got behind me? Then it's her paw. I said, what's she licking? You said nothing. She's licking her paw. So what I would do is, hold on for a minute, y'all. I'm live right now. So what I would do is, like, I had squash, right? I had squash, yellow squash. I grew yellow squash. And I also grew the green squash. What's the green squash called? Zucchini, right? And when the flowers came, because what happens is the bees land on the plant, right, on the flower for the nectar, and then the pollen gets on. Like, the pollen is with the oval of the plant. Show you a female planet, though. It seriously shows you a female planet, because the plant, the oval, the flower, it'll have the sweet, the little honeysuckle thing on it. The bees come and land on that. Pollen gets on their feet, and then they carry it to another female plant. The plant is asexual. So what I would do, I cross-pollinated. I took some of the pollen off of, on one plant, I took some of the pollen off from one flower with a Q-tip or a little brush or something like that, and put it on the other one. And then I took one off the squash, the green squash, and put it on the yellow squash just to see. And I impregnated my food. That's what we laughed and called it that. I impregnated my food by pollinating myself, knitting it myself. So we can act. Don't remember we're God. You feel me? And just because the bees do it, don't mean that's the only way that it's done. But we have to take action. We have to learn to plant our food. Learn to cultivate our food. Because that's what this is about. This is why I strongly believe, and for the Guardians to point it out, that they are getting rid of the bees is because they're getting rid of our food. Now, right now, if you take a look at the whole picture, there's an attack on our food from so many different angles. Even like with these tariffs, right? Already, it's affecting food. Oh, I gotta tell you this. I gotta say this. Because it made me laugh so hard the other day. But remember, I was just talking to y'all about my clothes and why I went to war against myself. Anybody remember that? Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know y'all with me. Remember I told y'all like why I stopped wearing, name brand, went to natural fibers. Because for me, it was about the quality of the fiber that I was wearing and not the name that was on my back anymore. And this thing came right after that video, about 2 days later. Anybody remember that? Okay. About 2 days later, I saw the video with, because of the tariff, China turning coat on the United States and they spilling the beans on everything. I know some of y'all saw it. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all saw it. But all these different Chinese people is coming out saying, y'all wearing that expensive ass name brand stuff, but we make that shit for 15 cents and y'all buy it for 200. And they was talking about how they benefited, but what they did with the money was their citizens actually benefit from it. They built roads and they built places for their citizens with the extra money, where your country just taxed shit out of y'all, made y'all poor. Anybody see that yet? They just took all over the place, a whole bunch of them. Because once I saw the one, I was like, oh shit, I just started looking into a lot of them. But I'm like, what somebody say in the chat?
King Adonis, my mom told me about it last night. They're about to start selling it straight.
Selling what straight? Hold on, King. What is that? I don't know what that means.
They're about to start selling it straight.
Selling what straight? You keep saying the same thing like it's going to mean something different in my head. I don't know what that means, selling it straight.
Oh, he said everyone's going for cents now.
The thing about it is, I've been living my life like that already. Years ago, I pulled myself, because I was in the rat race with everybody else. But years ago, and I just told the story about it. Years ago, I pulled myself out of it. I took their name off my back. And I'm telling you, my clothes cost more than the average person. Meaning, like that rainbow clothes, because I wear 100% natural fibers. You feel me? And they make you pay for that, but not as much. No Louis Vuitton, no this person's shirt or that person's shirt. No Hill this or P Diddy that. No FUBU, no Adidas. A long time ago, I knew that didn't make sense. And now, but those are just things that's ironic after I do the video. And they come out and spill the beans. So now everybody, all over the place, as one is the videos with the Asian people spilling the beans all over the place. But two is the videos with the American citizens saying how they dropping the name brand. Y'all seen them? The people saying how they dropping name brands. They're not participating no more. And should have followed my lead a long time ago. We'd all had a lot more money in our pocket. But I was weird. This would make me laugh out because I was the weird one. Because I wasn't a part of it. You've been in my life forever. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even when you came in, you looked at me side-eye. Like, this, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? But it's all making sense now, though, right? Everybody talking about now how they drop a name brand. They don't want no more name brand. That's what, listen, that's what I'm saying. This is why the rich don't wear name brand. These like scared shit on me. This is why the rich don't wear name brand. You know, like you'll see. Okay, killer. All right. He really about to go off. Isn't it that lady that always speaks to me? I don't want her to see me. I feel like that. Yep. Let's go this way. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Okay. Real quick. Okay, y'all. So this is a good juice company. I promise you. This is called Raw Foundation. I think I did the video on it and showed y'all. This the beets, pineapple, orange, lemon. Well, that's not what's in here right now. I made some tea and put it in there. But if you want to do a, you know, if you're juicing or just want fresh juices and you don't have time to make them or whatever, like I don't right now, because I love to make my own. This one actually tastes like, I don't know why the screen's so fuzzy either. This one is like one of, like mine. It tastes like my juice. That's not what's in here right now. That's a turmeric ginger tea with honey and cayenne pepper stuff in it. But so anyway, try that. It's called Get Raw Fountain. Great company, great juice, and it comes like it's no preservatives. Like if you got to get the celery lemon, they juice the celery, they juice the lemon. They don't put anything in it, and then they put it in the freezer. So they come to you frozen because it's no preservatives. It's just juice. It's no sugar, no GMO, none of that. It's just juice. They juice it and send it to you. And you can taste it's just real juice. You know what I mean? Like as if you juice it yourself and put it in the freezer. That's what I do anyway. I just don't have time to make it right now. So it's a good company to go with. You get your juices in, I think it was like 18 of them for $100, $119 or something like that on Amazon. I don't know if it's cheaper on the site or not. I just use Amazon. So, if you have the money and you don't have time to make your own juices and stuff, get those, put them in the freezer, and take them out, a couple out at night, the ones you want for tomorrow, and they taste really good. They taste really natural. They really clean. You can taste there's nothing in them. So, anyway, I'm just throwing that out there. Excuse me, but y'all, where was I at? She about to go off, but that dog just licked Keffa too. Okay, Mary. All right, killer. Come on. Yeah, I know. Oh my goodness, he is fighting for it. All right, hold on. Now calm down. I just wait because I don't want them to make a whole bunch of noise. So. These are dicholical to shock her, so she's not saying nothing. She's barking under her breath. The 3 little ones. Anyway, I can't see on this thing. Anyway, y'all, so well, I can't remember where I was at. Anybody else remember where the hell I was just at? Where I ended up just now? Air Jordans sold for $250 here. Woo! $2.50 a mate. Listen, I left that tribe a long time ago. So you got the people in the United States now all saying how they're, that's where I was at, how they're not buying name brand anymore. Like they want to, they tell, it's like a movement. They telling people to check the labels, make sure it's not a name brand, that you could buy cheaper clothes and make it look good. Because that's what we've been doing the whole time, and just put the name on it. We just pay for a name. But I've been saying it for years, and I was the outcast. But that's why I tell y'all, stand on what you believe and stand on what you know. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. I told y'all I went to the club in Scrubs, remember? This not a joke. It's not a game. Even when I was telling y'all, some people's like, you crazy. Nope, no, I'm not. Now y'all see I'm not. Now y'all see I'm not. Now see it make a whole bunch of sense why I took them names off of me. Told you it wasn't about them no more. It was about myself. I went to war with myself. It had to come out of self-sabotage, you know? Disrespecting self. Being my own God killer, you know? Anyway, y'all. So the video coming out tomorrow with just more information about what Wadica was about, why we had to do this. But right now, make sure y'all see that one, because that's the other part to this. But I don't want to talk about that part of it right now. But when we were told to do the Wadica ceremony, the Guardian said they was giving it to us for this reason. But now, like our solutions, we have to create our own solutions along with doing the spiritual work. And that's where Wadica comes in. That's where the water programs comes in. Because y'all going to say the same thing, just like my clothes. And the things I say that come to pass like years later, and people call me crazy on it. It's going to be the same thing when people really realize what the water programs are. More and more evidence is coming out about what I'm doing. They don't quite have the formula, but more and more is coming out about water. More and more is coming out about frequencies, and those together. How all these scientists now is talking about how water is life, you know? I've seen evolution. I've seen evolution. Come on. You better do it with a smile. I've seen evolution. I've seen sun ray. Life is light, water, and heat. That's how life is created. Even when the sperm hit the egg, that's radiation. When that sperm fuses into that egg, which is the same way that women hatch babies on their own via the process of parthenogenesis. It is not what the guys out there teaching, and you got nothing to do with no sperm in her bone marrow and all of this shit coming out her tailbone or whatever they talking about. Thank you so much. Whatever they talking about, that's a lie. Survey said. I could be real goofy. I don't know where the fuck that come from. Why I said that. But anyway, that's a lie. We ain't come from no goddamn bone marrow. Well, at least they admitted parthenogenesis. But then they just started teaching, especially the conscious community, because the one brother started teaching that it came from the bone. It did not. Let me help you. Let me help you. Every egg of the woman, all 2 million of them, because your eggs is really what I learned. How I go is actually passed down from your grandmother. What's inside of every boy and girl comes from the grandmother, not the grandfather. It comes from the grandmother. And the eggs that's in the grandmother is passed to her daughter. So the eggs that's in her daughter came from her mother. So you are a product of your grandmother. Listen, this shit is deep. But anyway, y'all look into that. But the egg, every egg comes with what's called a polar body. Look this up. Like polar bear spelled the same way. It comes with a polar body. Now this polar body is basically the same size. It's the companion to the egg. It's the same size, shaped the same way as sperm. What could that be for, Sika? The polar body has its own set of 23 chromosomes. The egg has its own set of 23 chromosomes. Without the presence of male beings, she would go back to fusing using the radiation from the sun and the moon and fuse her sperm, which is the polar body. And remember, the boy got sperm not from his father. He got sperm from the vein in the mother called the vas deferens that she injected in that boy. She got her own sperm. Oops. So the polar body, if it was to fuse back into the egg, radiation, remember heat creates light. Light, water, and heat is life. I've seen evolution. I've seen the light that came from space off of Shamash, this sun. The light, the ultraviolet light that came and penetrated Earth waters. And the planet is round, came and penetrated. And it's not the planet that's round. The planet itself is a globe. Like, meaning everything with it. Meaning the atmosphere. It's atmosphere. It's air. That's the globe. I've seen it. I've been off the planet and I've seen it. Archangel Michael took me off the planet and showed me the earth. And not only that, when she spin, I've heard the sound of earth from space. When she spins, she make a sound like a roar, kind of a screeching kind of sound. Anyway, but it's a sphere because it's like it's somehow how it's all being held together to make this a planet, which is not a planet. A planet is a mass of rock and dirt. We are 3/4 water, and when you see the earth from off the earth, it is a globe. But that don't mean like the lake. I think from what I've witnessed, I think round earth and flat earth are both real. You feel me? I am not right now about to ride around a ball. If I ride from East Coast to the West Coast of the United States, it ain't even going to be circular like that. The land is flat. Some of it got hills, and some is flat. But all of it is happening inside of a globe. Like, remember like the snow globes? It's the globe of the ether in the air. It's what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's a C word. I can't pull it. But it all collects together. And that's not the C word I'm looking for. You know what I mean? To make this a thing. To make this key. To make this is not Tiamat. Tiamat is a dragon. But to make this, what they call Earth, which is truly Mars. But, so imagine the snow globe is what's holding it all together. Inside the snow globe, you can have a mountain and hills and flat land and all of it like that. That's that's what's round about the earth. And then a lot of the landmass on the earth is flat. But even still, it wasn't even flat. It was hilly, mountainous. Because a lot of this was trees. It was gigantic trees. They cut it down. So, but even still, the land in the forest between the trees was flat, with trees growing off of it, because that's what mountains are. Mountains are either solidified trees, or some of them are solidified giants. And that's my belief. Let's call it petrified, opposed to solidified. Petrified. Y'all with me? I forget the hell I was talking about. What was I talking about? I think I went past my topic to get on that. It's really good tea. We just got it all messed up, you know. I think it's all of the above. But I've seen evolution. That's why I'm talking about being off the planet, because I've seen evolution. So I saw Earth before the mountains was on it. And it was in a sphere, but held together by, we're in a globe. You know, the separation of the firmament, we're in a globe. We're in a snow globe. And in that snow globe, the land, it wasn't even no land mass. It was molten. It was molten. Before that, it was just on fire. Like, I don't know what was on fire. I don't know what the fucking asteroid. I don't know what it was, but a space junk. I don't know. It was just a big fireball collected. Then this alien called water came from outer space. But what is outer space? Is the moon outer space? Or if I was sitting on the moon looking at the earth, is the earth outer space? Or if I was sitting at the sun looking at Mars, is Mars outer space? Is earth outer space? No, it's a community. It's the universe. It's like your neighborhood. These are the things in your neighborhood. That makes sense? So this being called water came from elsewhere in the neighborhood, and it was dropping drops on the size of this car. It's raindrops that was hitting this earth, and it cooled it. It cooled the fires of earth. And that's how, because it was no oxygen, it was just a smoky gas. It was just on fire, molten like lava. It was molten. But with that earth, because of when the water started hitting it, it created that sphere that locked it all in, and it cooled that space fireball. For whatever reason, it was on fire in the first place. I don't know. If you look into the holy tablets, though, and the Enuma Elish, or the Atrahasis tablets, or the Gilgamesh epics, it'll tell you that the planet Nibiru hit the earth, knocked a piece of it off, which is the moon, which created a fire in the core. And that's where you get the molten from. But from what I saw, I don't see it, because it was on fire. But when water hit the earth, and this took a long time, like millions of years or something, and it cooled it, which created the sphere, atmosphere. That's the circle, that's the globe. You feel me? Let me show you what they showed me. Once it cooled, sun rays penetrated deep in that water, but in the core of the water was already a heat. Maybe that's where the moon thing came in at. that fire that was in the core from Nibiru hitting it. But in the, like, deep, just deep in the waters, which we have to talk about, because the waters, after everything that I've been shown, y'all, the waters is outer space, and the sky is the limit. Catch that shit, because I threw the hell out of it. The sky is the limit. The sky is where you stop. The limitness, it's the waters, it's outer space. The firmament was separated so that we can breathe, because it was all water. So it's a bubble. Like Inky took me in the water before, and deep in the waters, they have a dwelling, and it's a bubble. Like, even if, like the movie Abyss, it's a dwelling down there. It's that same bubble. Like the earth is that bubble. And the bubble, the sphere, protects us from the shit all around that's out in the waters. If you go straight out of space this way, through the sky, which is the limit, because why wasn't the sky limitless? They told you whole time that the sky was the limit. Because if you go through it, you will get to water. If you go down this way, you're going to get to water. This is just a bubble so we can be human beings, and we can be earthlings and not breathe in water and don't have to have gills. Because it's a bubble in the water is what Earth is. It's a bubble in the water so we could breathe. I've been to the depths of the oceans. I've seen creatures that when she met me 27 years ago, I told her about creatures that didn't even come out to the movie Nemo. And that was years after we were together. I'm like, that's the glowing fish I told you about. Even the fish with the, like this, with the glow on it. I was telling people about that fish. I'm like telling y'all, I've been in the ocean. It's the fish down there glow. They light up. You remember that? I would tell everybody the fish, they was looking at me like the same way they was looking at me when I said, stop wearing designer clothes. I'm telling y'all some real shit. I'm telling you. Anywho, so it's this heat in the water. And the sun penetrated the waters deep. And that ultraviolet ray of the sun with that heat and the combination of the H2O created, because that heat that was down in that water was it was bubbly like a gas. Like, it wasn't the heat. I don't know where the heat was from, where that gas was from, but the heat created like a gas. Which inside of that gas created this little amoeba. I've seen it. It created this little amoeba. And then it created that amoeba branched off. It's like mitosis. You remember like the way the egg split into 4 and 8? It was like that. That amoeba became hundreds of that amoeba. Then off of that amoeba, it evolved another one. And then that one went through the process of mitosis and evolved off of itself, where it kept going all the way. I saw so many creatures. All the life started in the water. Life cannot start without water. It cannot start in air. It cannot start on dry land. Life has to start in water. Which just may be where the origin of source itself. I'm working on that. These things branched off and became fish, and all these different kinds of fish, and giant kinds of fish. And no, the pterodactyl was not the first bird, although there were bigger birds because of the oxygen or whatever, like things were bigger, they say. They were not first. The dinosaurs were not first from the process of evolution that the Guardians took me through. From that process, fish began to jump out of the water. and skip. Go back in and skip. Out of the water, skip. And then they skip, became longer and longer out of water until their fins became wings. Birds are fish. See it. Now shrink the wings of the hawk. It's fins. Look at the tail. Birds are fish. Birds came from fish. The evolution of the fish. And then they became the flying fish. And then branched off of that, the flying fish became the bird. I seen it. Science will catch up to the knowledge of the oracles, not the other way around. They don't have sight. They got to dig into shit and kill stuff and destroy stuff to figure shit out. But we, especially the black woman, the mother of civilization and her connection, all she got to do is remember. And this is evolution. Fish became reptile, even even the excrement of these animals. See, this is even why the Bible said eat fish. On the ancient proverbs and stuff say eat fish that eat fish. Because eat fish that have scales. Because fish with scales only eat fish with scales, and they are considered the clean fish of the waters. Everything else is a scavenger. They eat the pool, they eat the dead, they eat, dead bodies of anything in the water. Shrimp eat that. Bottom feeders, crabs, lobsters, crawfish. All the shell animals are the roaches of the sea. And even they'll tell you that crawfish and shrimp is the cousin to the roach. You're eating the sea roach when you eat a shrimp. Y'all listening to me? Wicked. Hold on. Y'all with me? From that, the reptile was born. The reptile came from, everything came from that amoeba. Everything came from that amoeba. Fish with scales somehow is holy. It's like, because it was the original thing in the sea. But you even to branch off to the squids, all of these, they were giant though. These squids and stuff that I saw. But these are the cleansers of the earth. These are the cleansers of outer space. They float around outer space and keep it clean. Their excrement is where I was going. They poo became silent, even in the water. I told people this a long time ago. When I was telling them I saw the poo of these animals becoming, that piled up. I told you what's holding this place together, right? They poo didn't keep falling forever to space out of water. It compiled over millions of years to become landmass. But if you think that's not real, what is soil? Can anybody tell me? Black soil. What is soil? Somebody put it in the comment. What is soil? I ain't talking about dirt and all of that. That's remnants of, that's debris. That comes from breaking down of ancient plants and ancient this and all of this. Can somebody tell? Right, it's worm poo. Now, that's on land. Now, mind you, without these microbes, none of these plants would grow. Worm poo is considered black gold, right? Because it gives life. But that's the same thing that happened in outer space, in the sea, in these seas. Because these seas belong to this planet. But you continue to go through them, you will go completely through a portal and keep on going into outer space. Because outer space is water, because the sky's the limit. See? Their pool became landmass. These big creatures and little creatures, I seen it power. It never made sense. But then when I started gardening and learned that worm pool is dirt, I'm like, that's how it makes sense. Because that's exactly, these microbes is what seeded our planet. Algae. The first life form. That's why Guardians told us to eat this ancient being. It's neither plant nor animal, but something in between. The algae, the amoeba. These are the original things that created everything else. This is the thing that I saw creating other things was the algae. Y'all see it? Shit. Listen. Y'all better get this stuff from E3 Live. I ain't without mine. I promise you that. Listen. And then when air and oxygen hit that, even the pool, how it solidified it. You feel me? Right now, imagine this. You got all kinds of shit happening in the sea, right? Now say when the tide go down and it's exposed to the air, how it changes the algae that's right there on the ground, how the algae becomes hard and the seaweed becomes crispy and the ground becomes, or the sand becomes where it was loose and soft, now it's hard and dry and glass and too hot on your feet. That's what happened. But sand is but rock, it's but crystals. Sand is but crystals. Mind you, it was molten, so if the molten cools, it becomes glass or crystal. From that, the reptile, I saw the reptile be born or created. Mind you, everything that I'm telling you that I'm seeing was female. There was no male being in none of it. Nothing in the sea was a male. It was all female. Because only she can birth. She can replicate herself. As a matter of fact, the sea creatures are the first to perform the feat of parthenogenesis. Right now, that's why they like sharks. Sharks all over the planet are having babies in captivity, female sharks. They talking about they must have stored sperm and all this bullshit. They ain't stored no damn sperm. They must have had sperm in them from years from when they was around men and they stored it in some kind of pocket. They ain't kangaroos, nigga. No, that's not what happened. Sharks all over the planet now are reproducing on her own. Because she's coming back. She's waking up, Moana. She's waking up. She's remembering. Who is she? She's the black woman. As she wake up and open her eyes, the planet eyes open because she is the planet. That's why parthenogenesis is coming back. That's why you're getting apples now when you could get them with the seeds. You feel, this is why they stopping seeded shit. Because just about 6-7 years ago, you would get an apple, and if you still there, you cut the apple is inside that already sprouted. The seeds are sprouting inside the fruit. Without fertilization, that's parthenogenesis. No, it's not bearing fruit, but still it's in the dark. It's seeding inside the mother apple because only the woman carried the seed. I keep talking about this man with the goddamn seed. Sperm is not the seed. Sperm is electricity and genetics of his mother. It came from his grandmother. So that man don't carry the seed. An egg is the blueprint of a being. So the seeds in the orange and the apple and the watermelon, that's the female. We carry the seeds. What are seeds? Seeds are blueprints to a being. So ain't no man got no seed in his sack. The seeds are protected. Nature would not have put seeds in a ball sack. You see what I'm saying? Seeds hanging out, just hanging out with this soft tissue that's very fragile, that's not protected. No, that's not what's happening. Seeds are in triple darkness behind this thick ass stomach wall, behind the womb, the stomach, the uterus. It's protected because an egg a drop and crack. That's the seed. Fruit comes from what? The vulva of the plant, the vagina of the plant, just like babies do. But somehow the smartest person on the planet done been programmed that she popped out of a fucking rib. She just popped the fuck out of somebody's rib. And that's how life happened. That's how life begun with some dude named Adam. It was never about Adam. It was the atom. Let me slow it down, y'all. Because we'll be here a while. That seed, that reptile, branched off. The reptile was the first thing to walk on land. Mind you, this is still the process of evolution I was shown. That reptile became a crocodile. Life started in Peru on this planet, not South Africa, but South Africa and Peru is the same place if you put the landmass back together as Pangea. That's why you have crocodiles in South Africa and South America. But it didn't start in Africa, it started in South America down in Peru, where the primordial mothers are still up in those mountains. You ain't gotta believe me none. Off the crocodile walked the body of the first female. When I say I was the first female on the planet, when y'all hear me say that, it's because of this right here. It's because when I was shown evolution, it showed me walk off. Like, yeah, each thing was branching off. I branched off of a crocodile. When Source decided to walk on this planet as a human, it came from a crocodile. Science will catch up to that one day. I have no doubts. They're catching up to every fucking thing else I've been saying. She walked off, or I walked off. My skin was close to the color of it, like now. It wasn't real black, real dark skin being, but slimmer, like slinkier. She, or I, primordial mother, birthed a being who looked just like me. In my past life, I performed parthenogenesis. That's why I come back and teach it, because I know it. When I came out and started with parthenogenesis years ago, wasn't nobody talking about it. Wasn't no conscious community talking about it. Nobody. The closest would have been Dr. York talking about the mitochondria DNA. Coming from the womb, man. I've been talking like this since I was 18 years old. My father would gather his friends around. Listen to my daughter talk. This girl be on some shit. When I learned about the X and XY chromosome, it set me off in school. It set me off. I saw it. Because I'm here to see it. And I birthed myself. And she birthed herself. And that's how The land was populated through the primordial mother, through the women of the Amazon. I birthed the first son, male being. He was jet black. As time evolved, more of those beings, that species of human, we call man today. But mankind is woman. It stems from the woman. Mankind, she is mankind. When we're talking about men, because of her relationship with the earth and source, the connection of the three mind wombs, the connection of the three mind wombs, and her power, when she connects to the earth, because the earth is her. There's no difference in the black woman and the earth. Everything else came from the black woman. The black woman, part of her is earth. The other part of her is pure consciousness. She's the first earthling. As men begin to populate, more and more men, then our sons, it became, and I ain't gonna go all the way into this. This is the whole process of evolution that they showed me. The process became a gender war. Our sons, that black motherfucker turned his arrow on us. I mean, this was like many, many years later. It could have been hundreds of years later. We didn't age the same. And they turned their arrows on us because they are limited. The male being was limited. One, they could not bring a being. They could not perform parthenogenesis because they have a phallus, because their vagina became elongated. Their clitoris became elongated, and their vagina seamed up. So they went to war against their mothers. They went to war against me. And we fought, and because of that, other beings were created. You had other beings here. You had the Yakubs, and you had beings that was living in this planet, like the Taros and the Dewanis, and all these different beings. Now you had these beings who wanted to mix in with us, the primordials, that looked like Voldemort. They wanted to mate with us so that they could have our technology, our body. It's our technology. Our spirituality is a technology. I keep telling y'all that. Or your body is the way to the spirituality. You cannot see into the other realms without, if your pineal gland is calcified. You need the physical. And we're still in the gender war. Right now, it's huge. Right now, what's happening is the Caucasian man is against the primordial mothers again and her children. And he said he would be. He will always be. They put it in the Bible so that you would know. They said that Satan will be against Eve's seed forever. They will be at war. He will always be at the heel of her children. That's why this orange motherfucker is out there now destroying my children's history. The war is against you, black woman. It always has been, and I've been saying this for 10 years. It's always been about you. You have to wake up. We have to lead the people to Waruka. We have to lead the people home. They gave this to us so that we could stop them from killing the bees. This is all this talk is about. So that we could stop them from destroying nature. The animals are trying to tell us, I gotta just check the video out, come out tomorrow. The animals are trying to tell us that something is fucking wrong. But she is still asleep on a large scale. She's waking up, but not fast enough. It ain't gonna be just me or just you. It got to be the majority. And I'll say it again, if we can get 10% of black women, That's why I say the 11,111, but it's actually 10,000. 10,000 people would be 10%, would be 1% of the world's population. First off, 10,000 people. If you had 10,000 people together, 1% of the population could change the world. Now, if you get the primordial mothers and her children, if you got 10,000 or 11,111 black women to pray on one day, it will change all of this. This is your world. My God, I look like my mother right now. Look at these Doc ears, y'all, in the back, right there. We don't even call her ears. We call them satellites. And they up right now. Right, Mary? Yours up too, baby. I just look like my mom right now. Freaky is freaky. Okay, come on. Don't go out. Cal, come around. Come around. Come around. Come around. Open the door for them, please. And let Deezy Doc out. She gotta go. And don't go yet. I want you to read the comments for me. I like somebody else read them. Somebody been in the yard? Is that something on top of the ladder? No. Okay. If we could get the Black Womb Man, the mother of civilization, the women of the Amazon, the women of creation, the first to stand in solidarity, we can change the state of the entire world. But she has to remember who she is. She has to wake up. She has to love on her again. That gender war, once the black males turned on their mothers, then the whole world turned on us. That's the true punishment. What will awaken the freedom of us all is unity. And anybody ever seen y'all like superhero movies? I do. Like, anybody seen Infinity Wars? In Endgame, you know, in Thanos, in Infinity Wars, Thanos had the ring, I mean that glove on, and I mean everything's happening. People fighting over here and people fighting over there. That's like what's going on right now. When she come together, just 1%, 11,111 black women come together. One place, one mind, one day, one prayer. Just in unison. She could be in Africa, she could be in China, she could be in, but that day we lock energy with the same mind, with the same affirmation. We will change this reality. It'll be like Thanos' glove with all the chaos that's going on. Once he got the unity of the Infinity Stones, once he got, I think it was this 5th or 6th stone, however many it was, and it joined the glove, he just stopped it. And everything changed. It is that real. It is that powerful. It will happen just like that. If the black woman, the Black Womb Man, hi, my baby. I got my little teeny little dog. Come on. Come on. I'm not coming out yet. Mary always trying to make me get out the car. Keep an eye on him, okay? For a minute. If she loved on her, like just truly her problems became her problems. Her joys became her joy. She didn't see herself separate. But to look at another black woman and say that's me. And then, like myself, a black woman who's attempting to gather others, who's working hard to put the temple together for us to gather in. And other people see it and say, other sisters, especially her. You know, for the donations that we have right now, we might be up to $1,000 and we need 100,000. But they were mostly men has donated. Just put that out there. Mostly men. You know, it's black women out there who see my content and they're going to see this and they're going to regurgitate it. They need to, but they won't say my name. It's because that's how we are with each other. You know, but look at the men though. You know, like you have all these men out here teaching and doing the alkaline thing, but they'll say Dr. Sebi. Even women will say Dr. Sebi, right? Everybody almost in the conscious community know my name. Even though my channel not as big as theirs, but I've had some of the biggest turnouts. Like I can do like the video Leave New York. When you got a video got 200,000 views on it. You know what I mean? They always take my shit down. But I screenshotted that one before they took that one down. 200,000 views. And I get those. Everybody know who I am. Because then I see myself out there. But instead of them joining me, they want to learn from me, take it from me, and go do it themselves. It's the disunity that have us like this. If you see that I'm doing something, join me. It makes it bigger. Like, if I see that you're doing something like Chef Babette, like I name sisters, I put them out there. Like, one of the things I want to go do soon, I don't have many mentors or people that I look up to, spiritually not necessarily, but the way this lady is living her life and the way she came from the streets and was a crackhead, and her husband, you know, for the first date, he took her on a jog and gave her 2 vegan books, and she turned vegan that day and never turned back. And she don't open that restaurant in California. I want to go and see her in person. I don't want to do shit. I'm on my way. I'm going to go see her in Cali. I'm not sure when yet. It might be June. It might be for my arrival there. That might be what I do, because I got to go touch the waters anyway. But it's coming up. And I want to show more people this sister. And maybe it's something we could do together and to make it grow. But I need y'all to look around. I need you to recognize that the black woman is the least on the planet. She's the being that's growing the least. And that's because she will not love on her. There's no fucking way orange hair should have been in office. It should have been Kamala. I don't give a fuck what the confusion is. They all bullshit anyway. All of y'all who voted just because it was your image. Well, her image, they say she an Indian. Ain't that what you is? You black as hell with Indian hair or your head. You the same shit she is. Black women don't have long straight hair. We have non-ether. So if she black and an Indian, but you got human hair on your head that come from India, how the fuck was you different from Kamala? I mean, just think about that. You see how that worked? That was your image up there. And black women were all over the place. I told y'all then. I told you that this was a gender war. And the Guardian said orange hair going to go in. But this is about the devil and God, the fight. And we are here now. Right here is where we have to make the turnaround. Right here is where I need y'all to use all your talents. Use your arts. Your arts are the tools that you were given. I keep saying it. Dancing, singing, writing. These are the arts that change. This is what changes the world. This is where man infestation or womb creation come from, the arts. That's the femininity. That's the spiritual. What is a song but an affirmation? What is a line dance? What is dancing but the acting of intention? The acting of intention. You play a song and your body acted out to the left, to the left, to the right. I can't line dance for nothing. I can't do not one line dance. Not ever. I never could. I don't know why. And I used to really dance, but I couldn't do line dance. Just, I don't know. It threw me off. But think about what I'm saying, though. You know, I don't know if I said it up to y'all yet, but a good time that we should have used our magic was April the 5th. April the 5th is when we should have used our magic. When they went out in March, that was the time. We don't go out, right? Don't fight with them. Let them handle the shit. But since beings were coming together in solidarity, the energy was there. That's when the black woman and her sons should have went to the rivers and prayed that day. Because they went and marched. What happened? Because it's not about that. They've been better off gathering and doing a line dance. They could have. Okay. I'm about to go. Let me see. Because I don't even know where everybody is. It feels real nice out here right now. Man, I look like my mom. I don't know. Let me read a couple comments, y'all. Hey, Stoic Hodak. Mm-hmm. Yeah, King. It's always been the answer. Most sea creatures are asexual, yup. Hodak Mod Ray. Okay, y'all, so she needs her. And until you see the black woman go back to the waters and cry it out, wail it out. The black woman carried the waters. Her tears heal nations. Her secretion make manifest. She even in her in sex, or let's call that creation energy, she got different waters that flow out of her. Like some y'all call the squirt. It's not pee, but it's a squirt. And then a secretion. She is the waters, but she don't see it. And she don't understand how holy her waters are. That's why instead of they teaching her a line dance, a righteous dance, or the rain dance, they teach her to twerk and throw ass and pussy in the air. They teach her to compete. Even the spiritual sisters are just competing against each other and not growing together. I'm gone, y'all. His lost to us. Stay tuned for the video. It's going to come out tomorrow, the next day. Hopefully tomorrow, though. It's not a real long video, but we gotta go to the waters, y'all. We gotta put Wadika out there strong this year. We gotta reprogram and heal nature before it's too late. And they give us the tools. And again, you don't have to buy Wadika, because you could do the free version. It's 3 versions. It's Thinoon English, Thinoon. It's Wadika in Thinoon in English, and then free. I put the words on the site, copy them, and go do the ceremony. There's a whole video out. I started a community post, and I said I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish that tonight while I put those up. Because that was the beginning. That's where Wadika started. So if you forgot the ceremony, look, the videos is up on the community post. Sister, we are all we have, and we have to find our way through our differences. We have to find our way through the program. Because the biggest program, one of the strongest programs on the planet is the one that divides me from you. The one that make me think or you think you're in competition with me and won't remove the veil, won't remove the program and see that we are one being. And that's what it's going to take to save this planet. Simply. That's it. I gotta go. It's time for my babies to get their snacks. Y'all. His lost to us. Hodak. Deye.